Hey everybody, welcome to the Namra Podcast. I am Russ Mangsen here with my guest today, Jen Stanovich, the Executive Director of the Wachusett Area Chamber of Commerce in Central Mass. Couldn't be more excited to have you here, Jen. Let's get right into it.
Thanks, Russ. Well, I'm happy to be here. This is great. I mean, I've known you for a while now, and it's really nice to be here seeing what you do in person. So thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks so much for coming. Super excited. You saw us when we first started, when we were shooting videos on cell phones and working just from one laptop, and now obviously our studio's built, and we've been quite busy, and it's really a lot due to the Wachusett Chamber and other area chambers, but Wachusett was the first one that we joined.
I like to say I knew you when, and I do. I remember you starting out, and you were familiar with the chamber through the Worcester Chamber, but you came in and started networking from the get-go, and people loved you, and I know you made good connections, and yeah, I know it helped to grow your business, and that's what we're all about, and that makes me very happy that it worked for you.
Yeah, and I couldn't appreciate your support more, and we did meet before I ever joined the chamber. When I was working for the Worcester Chamber, that was the first conversation we had, and I think we built a pretty good relationship from day one. I remember we got along very well.
Yeah.
And so you were very happy to hear that I had joined with my own company, and I couldn't appreciate your support more. And I think what you do is very important for the community and for business owners especially, obviously. But not enough people really know about the chamber. It's sort of like it's sort of a well-kept secret in some industries, and it's super valuable. And we always recommend our clients start networking in the chambers and doing their best to get involved in the community. And it's really all because of you guys.
Well, thanks. I mean, that's what we like. We like to see it happen. We love to grow organically by people telling other people how it has worked for them. I mean, that's really proof positive that it works. We are out there trying to tell our story, but again, it's people like you who have seen it that really help us. So, and our numbers are growing, so it's really encouraging.
Yeah, lately has been very promising, because I remember when I first joined, I was the youngest by 20 years in the chamber, and now I'm not. Now There's people still older than me, but a lot younger than me as well, who are now coming in and starting their own businesses, and it's become more fun for me as like a late 20s networker to see, okay, now there's like some 22, 23-year-olds coming in, and I'm starting to get along better with the 35-year-olds too. So for me, it's nice, but for the chamber, it's a great boost of energy that I don't remember really being there when I first started. So it's been really fun lately.
No, it's true, and we've had a lot of people comment on that. We've had some younger members come in who are honestly just starting out in their business, and they walk in and they think it's going to be, I hate to say older people, but I mean, a lot of our members have been there for a long time, but we also need the energy that you guys bring. We need the new ideas. I mean, you all learn from each other, and it really helps us to have younger people coming in with new ideas, and we share, and that's how we grow. It's great.
Yeah, I love it.
Love it.
You're such an ambassador of the chamber and of networking and businesses in general. I think your positive spirit really trickles down into the whole Wachusett Chamber. I always say you guys are some of the nicest people I know. Like, other chambers are great for networking, and you guys are like a huge family. So it takes networking to a new level. Just the vibes that you bring, the people there are great, but I think it stems from you and just your positive attitude. You're like one of the sweetest, nicest people I know.
Thanks,
and
Russ.
truly. And it says a lot, and it does a lot for the culture of that chamber for sure.
Well, you are so sweet. Thank you. That is like totally over the top, but thank you. Honestly, I believe in what I do. I've been doing it for more than 20 years now, and I see it work every single day, and that's what keeps me energized. And the more people who come in and the more young people who come in, that just builds my enthusiasm too. So it's really a back and forth. I thank you for bringing what you do, and your energy to the programs that we do. And yeah, it's exciting, and it's an exciting time right now, especially post-COVID and coming back from tough times, and businesses were struggling, and we are totally building, and we're a community chamber. So that said, we have 200 plus members, and and most are sole proprietors or small businesses. So all the more reason it's important to get out there and meet each other and talk about what's going on and how we can help each other. And it's connecting. It's all about connecting.
Absolutely. Let's get into the tangibles of what you guys offer, starting with just the towns that you cover.
Yes. A lot of people say, why should I join the chamber? And, that's what I'm really hoping we can get across, because it's hard to explain it all in a nutshell. But we cover 7 area towns: Holden, Princeton, Paxton, Rutland, Sterling, Boylston, and West Boylston. When we started 30 years ago, we used to just be the Holden Chamber, and then it was the Holden Area Chamber. And again, as we kept growing, now it's the Wachusett Area Chamber, so that we can bring more towns in. And as part of that, when you join our smaller chamber, we're affiliated with the Worcester Regional Chamber, which, as you know, is huge. And they can do many things that we can't do in terms of advocacy and offering much larger programs and roundtables. So by joining us, you also become a member of theirs through our affiliation, which is an enormous member benefit. So it's a 2-for-1. You get our programs and their programs too, all under the same.
And that's a huge one that a lot of people in the Wachusett area don't know about, and they join the Worcester Chamber and then they join the Wachusett Chamber, not knowing that just join the Wachusett, it's $2.95 and you get Worcester for free.
Right. Provided, yes, but it provided that you're focused in our area. You're in one of our 7 towns, because if you're a Worcester business, it makes more sense for you to join Worcester.
Right.
And we're very respectful of each other's kind of territory, and that we can all work together. But absolutely, to be a small sole proprietor, you join our chamber in our area and get Worcester for free, bonus.
Yep,
total bonus.
It's huge. And the chamber is really like going to the gym. Like if you don't use it, you're not going to benefit from it. So a lot of people, and I know this from when I did membership sales, right? Like I've been on your side, so to speak.
Right,
and so I've had a lot of conversations with people who are stubborn and they don't want to join. It's like, look, this could double your business if you actually use it consistently, no matter how well established you already are. Because one good connection can lead to 75 clients in the next 2 or 3 years. And it's sad that so many people think like, oh, I don't have time to go to the business after hours. It's like, man, like you're missing out on so much potential that compounds over the years. Like it's farming, right? Like you're planting seeds, and I've gotten calls 5 years later who go, hey, you still doing Facebook? And I go, yeah, we do Facebook and a whole lot more now. And it's just like we built rapport one time at an event, and they remembered that I was like, kind of knew my stuff, good vibes, but they weren't ready to hit it off yet. And they reach out again later. So that's huge. That's
so important, though, the fact that it takes time, and studies show that when you join a chamber, if you don't engage within the first year, for that reason, you're going to say, well, what have you done for me? And you're not going to stay with us, most likely. But you have to go into it saying, I am building relationships, and this will take time. And absolutely, you see results down the road. I mean, we had a women's group session this morning. And we have someone, Stone Cobblers, who does countertops and kitchens. And she stood up to introduce herself, and the number of people, and she's been in our chamber now for many years, and the number of people, without her having to say anything, who said, I got my cabinets from you, I got my countertop from you, basically then reinforced anything she was going to say. I mean, it was that relationship that she has built with chamber members over time.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, not enough can be said about the networking events. What else do you guys offer for networking other than just the after hours? Right.
So the business after hours, as people know, and all chambers do this. This is like a 5 to 7 o'clock networking evening event, which we always do in a chamber member restaurant. We always have a sponsor with one of our members to get them involved. And those are a lot of fun.
They're very fun.
They're a lot of fun.
Schoolyard was amazing.
Yes. We go to some fun places. We try to build something in that kind of forces you to network. I mean, that was a scavenger hunt at the schoolyard. We'd never done that before. And people walked in and said, I don't want to play a game. As soon as we started it, every single person in that room was like, this was great. And
That's totally
actually,
me, by the way. I'm always the one who's like, I don't want to play games. But it was fun. It was fun. We got into it right away.
I don't want to meet new people. I'm not going to do this.
It's not that. It's the games.
Exactly.
It's like the icebreakers I've always hated. I like the organic. But this, it was just fun. And it really, it's a family there. So it's like
Right.
it is very fun to mess around with those people who you've known for a few years. It's such a tightly knit community. It was a blast that
Right.
night.
Right. You know, and we kept the team small because I totally understand if you have not been to a networking event before, to walk into a room of 75 people and you don't know anybody, that is one of the most intimidating things you could possibly do, right? And then someone tells you you're going to play a game. And I too would say, no, I'm not going to play a game. But we have people who we know you're new and we will take you and introduce you around, basically, you know, take your hand and help you because it's hard. And, you know, we understand that. So we try to make it as easy as possible, but.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably the thing that you guys at Wachusett are the best at. Out of all the chambers that I've been with, and they're all amazing, but you guys are so warm when a new person joins, your ability to like say, hey, like I'm Jen, I'm the head of this whole thing.
Right.
And I'm going to walk you through and introduce you to all the nicest people here.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
That's very, very warm, where other chambers, they're really large. So you can't do that for every new person because there's 50 new people at every event. And you end up kind of standing in a corner. And I went through that. You know, and,
Right.
and that's part of like the grind. Like I love looking back at how awkward I was in the first few chamber events, but it's very nice and very helpful when you don't have to go through that pain.
And those are our ambassadors at work.
Right.
Yes. And we do try to make that easy. So, I mean, that said, those are once a month, those are evening events. But I mean, what's been fun is that we have then grown according to what our chamber members are asking for. You know, one of those is a women's group, which in the past, you know, few years has become a really big deal. The Worcester Chamber has the women's conference, you know, and we have some guys on our board who say, you know, well, we need a guys group. And we would do that too. If that's what they wanted, we would do that too. But women network differently, you know, so we get 25 women in a room and it's just a very warm, you know, non-judgmental environment where they can, you know, they've made connections differently. It's interesting to see, and it's also a lot of fun. I mean, that room is like a warm hug. You walk in with these women who are just, you know, very supportive of each other. So that's been a lot of fun. And we only started that a few years ago. And again, that was based on members saying, you know, we could really use this. So that's part of the fun of my position, is to be able to then turn around and meet their needs, hopefully, you know.
Yeah. And then connect for success.
Yes. So then we started again a referral group. And this too was, you know, there are a lot of groups out there. There's BNI, which most people are familiar with, and most chambers have referral groups, and we never had because we didn't know if we were big enough to support it, and now we are. So that's really exciting. It meets twice a month. You know, it's a commitment, granted, but 2 mornings a month, and I personally have learned so much about every single member in there. And it's all about referring people you know and trust. And the way to build that trust is to spend time with them, and that's what this is.
Yep.
And they take turns presenting, and you get an in-depth look at their business, and it's interesting. And now that group is like a very nice, cozy kind of group, you know, and we're hoping to start a second one because we have people who say, geez, I'd really like to do that too. And a group like this, you only have one person per industry. So we have a few people who are waiting, you know, to come on board. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that accelerates things to a whole new level, because it's one thing if you can make it to some of the after hours, maybe you get to 6 or 10 of them over the course of a year, but if you go to 25 of those Connect for Success meetings on top of those, and you're having coffee with these people in between, you're going to get some business out of it. If you're good at what you do, you will surely get some consistent business out of it, because people will come back. And like you said, you show up to an event a year later, you've worked with some people, now this person who you're trying to connect with is it like your words backed up because one of your clients comes in and goes, oh, Russ is great. They did our logo. They did our videos. And then I go say, I don't even have to prove myself because everybody in here knows me and I wouldn't be around if I screwed someone over.
Right.
That's kind of a key point too.
It is absolutely key. I mean, you're going to refer people who you know and trust. And the best way to do that is to build these business relationships with people who then you can refer comfortably and know that it's going to be a good outcome. So, And I know people have referred you, you know, countless times. It's, Yeah,
you guys have been truly great for business. I think probably our first client came from the Wachusett Chamber, if not the area BNI, which had the same sort of people.
Right.
or actually the same people.
Right.
So yeah, it's been great. And what I've always tried to do is tell BNI people to go to the chamber.
Because Russ, we're going to make you an ambassador.
Well, I already am. Don't even worry about it. But it's super important because people, like for some reason, BNI can be kind of culty and like anti-chamber because you're all competing for networking. But like in total, you're going to spend $1,000 a year on, even if you join every chamber and do all the BNI. So it's like you should do all of them. They're all great and they're all different people.
Right.
You know, there's no harm in going to both.
No, not at all. Oh my goodness. The more people you can meet, absolutely. You should join every networking group that you possibly can, you know. And like you say with the gym membership, which is actually a really good analogy. It's the more you put into it, the more you will get back.
That was my line.
That's a good, I like that. I like that one. I might have to use that. It's true.
You got to come to the events or else it's not going to work, but it's true.
So we're starting to do some, you know, we have a radio show, which helps us reach another audience that's out Fitchburg way, which is great. That's a really nice relationship that we have with WPKZ, and we go on their lunchbox once a month. I bring a guest, and that chamber member can just talk for an hour about their business. You know, Howie Kahn, who's the host, is really good about asking questions. It's a really nice back and forth. It's not a lot of pressure. You know, you were on with me, and it's, you know, it's another way to help get word out about their business. Anything we can do to push word out is good.
Yep. Love that. Holden Days. That's a big one.
That's a big one. So Holden Days has been a community event put on by the chamber, which, you know, a lot of people still don't realize because it's a huge townwide event. It's been going on for 40 plus years and it's enormous. It's 5 different venues. It's for kids. It's for families. It's entertainment. It's food. It's big. It's always the last Saturday in August. And because we're a chamber, our focus is really on having our chamber members take part, which is our food court people, our only chamber members. We have a whole area dedicated to, it's called the marketplace, and it's for businesses. We want businesses to take a booth and be able to get word out about what it is they do. And these people are in your community. So these are your customers who are coming that day, wandering around. And the more they can learn while they're there, the better. And it's been really good. Whether people are sponsoring or just taking a booth, it helps, again, to get word out about our members and what's going on. So it's just grown we need trolleys now to get people around, and we bus people in from different parking locations, and it's crazy big, but it's an awful lot of fun. And people will say, I grew up coming to this, now I bring my kids to this. It's a generational thing. How
long has it been going on?
40 plus years.
Wow. I didn't even realize it was that long.
Oh, forever. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. When did you get started with the chamber?
22 years ago.
How'd you get involved with it?
Crazy. So my whole career has been around event planning and public relations. So there used to be Tom McCann Shoe Company, which I'm sure you don't remember. No, because it was before your time, but other people would. They used to have 1,200 stores nationwide. It was enormous, and it was based in Worcester. And I was their director of public relations and event planning. And those were the days when people would go out with national conferences, and you'd travel around, you know, and throw huge parties. And times were different then, right? So I was there for a long time and then stayed home with my kids for a few years, and I wanted to get back into event planning. And there is someone, it's a stipend position, who comes in and helps with Holden Days because it's such a big coordination effort. So I stepped up and took the Holden Days position. And while I was doing that, I became, you know, I got to know the members of the board. I got to know chamber members. And when Holden Days wrapped up, the executive director at that time announced that she was retiring. So
it all started with
Holden Days. It was just, what a perfect segue, right? So it started with Holden Days for me, and I just then applied for the job, and I was at that point a known quantity and loved it. And yeah, I was very fortunate to be given the position, and I have not looked back. It's just been, I love what I do. So
what else are you guys offering for the community, events, things like that?
So, part of our mission really is, we're supporting businesses and we're supporting the communities that these businesses are in. So Holden Days is obviously a big thing we do for the community. Scholarship Scramble Golf Tournament. We need to give back to the schools in the hopes that these students who are going into business are going to replace us someday, right? So that's really important. And we started the Scholarship Scramble Golf Tournament 18 years ago. And since then, we have awarded $120,000 in scholarships. Awesome. And these scholarships are $2,500 scholarships, $3,000 scholarships, because you know how expensive tuition is now. So we give these kids a check, and they can use it for whatever they need, books, computer, anything. So we're really proud of this. And this tournament is held every year in May, and people come out for it. It's an easy sell because they know it's going to the students who live in our towns who are going into business. So I mean, it's a great way for our chamber to be able to give back, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, that, and then I love to travel. I've always loved to travel. It's a passion of mine. So about 10 years ago, we went on a trip to China. I took 55 people to China because there was a group who just worked with chambers in case they wanted to build connections in China, business to business. Well, that was just the start, and then since then, now we've just shifted to fun travel, and every year we have a trip that is open to all area residents in the 7 towns that we serve and all chamber members. So, I usually have these trips sell out. They're mostly to Europe. We're going to the French Riviera this April. I have 26 people going with me. I have a wait list with a couple people on it because a lot of people want to travel. They want to travel with a group so that they don't have to think when they get there, right? It's nothing you have to do. We work with Colette, who's very professional. They're based in Rhode Island, and their tours are fabulous, top-notch all the way. And it has just become something we do every year. So it's another nice community thing.
Awesome.
And I have a lot of people. Fun. Oh, it's so much fun. Well, it's a lot of fun for me, too. I always go on these, and we have a group now who just travels. They'll say, well, where are we going next year? And they'll just come.
How do people contact you for that?
Our website is a key way to get in touch with us, to see where the next trips are and what the events are. And otherwise, I mean, as you know, I will talk chamber 24/7. So if anybody wants to call, just call the chamber office, 508-829-9220, and yeah, I'll happily meet with you or talk to you over the phone or any questions that you have, because, again, there's a lot that the chamber brings to the table, and people like to know how they're going to fit in and how it's going to help them. So
yeah, and I think that's one of the benefits of you guys being as small and tight-knit as you are, is you can kind of prescribe to a new member, like, okay, here's what you should be doing based on your needs and where you're at. So that's really cool. Ribbon
cuttings. We're doing a ribbon cutting in a couple weeks. Anytime a new business is expanding or a new business is opening their doors, that's a really fun way to get word out. And we can take that and, send that out on social media and through our email blasts, and state and local officials are very supportive. They too support these local businesses, and they come with citations, and it's just a nice welcome to town kind of thing that we do.
Committees, volunteer stuff.
Well, we have a workforce of 1 in our chamber. So I am the only actual employee of our chamber. So I'm always looking for volunteers, because the more people who get involved, it's not only good for them, it's great for me, because we can tackle more things together. So always looking for volunteers.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we do. We have a very supportive group who will come out and help with that.
Love it. What about business development discussions and educational stuff?
Yeah, we're going to get back into those. During COVID, things were on Zoom for a while there, and I feel like people are really tired of the Zoom. So we're going to start introducing some sessions again where people can come, small group sessions, and talk business issues and bring in some experts.
Perfect.
Like you would be a great expert to come in.
We'd
and
love
talk,
to. We're putting like a 3-part seminar together for one of the other chambers, and my partner Taylor does a lot for the chambers down in Rhode Island with different presentations. So we're prepared.
That's awesome. Well, and honestly, social media. If you're a sole proprietor, that is a job in itself, and it is so intimidating, and people really need help with that, whether it's just you pointing them in the right direction or offering some tips or actually them bringing you on. It's critical, and those are the things that people look to us to provide to help with issues like that. And
that's what we're all about at this point, because we've seen so many businesses in so many different places in business, like from day one startup to 10, 15 years, and you have a good reputation and you're up and running. your marketing strategy, there's a lot of similar problems that they have. And so a lot of it is just helping them understand the fundamentals, helping them understand where you should and shouldn't be spending your time. Right. Because if you have like a very small marketing budget and you're trying to run like custom ad campaigns on Facebook, those are built for like that tool on Facebook where you're running custom ads and targeting all these people. It's built for people with like $5,000-$10,000 a month budgets.
Right.
But small business owners have access to it, so they think that's how I should do it. And so there's things like that across video production, across the actual publishing side, across like every part of marketing. There's places that you can save time, and a lot of what we do is just preach consistency at the lower level. And
that's what they need to hear. You know, it's just very intimidating. So that's what these business sessions are about, are to take things that are basically stressing small business owners out and try to offer advice and help. You know, and that's really important. Well, we're starting up our TV show again. We used to have a TV show called On the Road with the Wachusett Area Chamber, and we would travel to the business. So you were talking about what you do basically in your own home, so to speak, you know. And we did that show for 12 years, and then again, things changed during the pandemic, and people didn't want us to come in, understandably. So we took a break, and now we're bringing it back, but we're doing it in a studio setting, just so that no one has to worry about that, and, you know, we can still get word out about what they do. And then start posting those, you know, and we will give them the 10-minute segment to do whatever they want with it. You know, we'll post it too, but then they have something. Yeah,
we did something similar to that in the studio one time. That wasn't on the road though, was it? Do you remember that?
It was at the station. I think it was on the road, because for you,
I think so too.
That would have been, you know, you are on the road basically, so you didn't have this studio at that time.
So we went there. Okay, that makes sense.
You needed a home base. So we gave you a home base, and that's where we did it. Exactly. And that's what we did. And those are a lot of fun. So we'll be doing those again.
That one's great. Oh my God, I don't even want to watch that.
No, we'll have to bring you back. You can do another one.
Definitely
do an update.
Revamp it.
Yes, my
That'd
goodness.
be great. We were a much different business back then, for sure. Awesome, Jen. This is great.
It's just, you know, I truly believe in it. So I know we can help grow your business if you're willing to put the time and effort into it. You know, I'm pretty confident in that. So it's exciting.
We can totally attest to it. We get still so much business, and more, I think, over time, right? It definitely grows exponentially. It takes a while to get the engine going, but then once everybody knows you, it becomes a lot easier to sell yourself to those people, and that, you know, they're all friends and they've all done business together. So I mean, I can feel the momentum picking up even now, and it's going to be amazing to see where we're at 10 years from now.
I know. I can't wait. I know. I'm excited for it. It's all good. It's all good. We're going in a great direction.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have you in the studio for the first time. You're definitely welcome back anytime. Anything else you want to tell the people? We already kind of told them how to contact you, but maybe we can do it one more time just to check the website.
Absolutely. That's the best way, because, you know, we offer every month we have a chamber chat, which is in a local coffee shop. These are free. You just come in.
Do chamber chats.
Chamber chat. Love these. Great way for new people to make a few connections before they go into maybe a larger business after hours. These are free. You stop in, you have a cup of coffee, you meet maybe 10 new people, and then you'll see those 10 people again. Those are every month. Women's group, the Wachusett Women's Connection, meets every month. Business After Hours, again, that's a monthly event too. That's at night. So we've covered a morning event, an afternoon event. You know, I mean, they're all different times of the day, whatever works for you. And then we have an Out and About committee, which is run by a group of volunteers. And the crazy thing is, people enjoy each other's company so much now that they wanted to see each other a little bit more than some of these scheduled events. So they are pulling together Out and Abouts. We have one at a brewery this week. And it's just, you know, drop in, say hi, see some friends on your way home. Not an organized chamber event by any means, but just another way to kind of get together. So
I'll be there.
Yeah, right? I mean, think about that. The fact that people enjoy each other's company so much that they're taking it beyond what the chamber events do, you know, which is just really neat. So that's this very active out and about committee.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to stick around with those people. I think I was at schoolyard until like 8:30 the other night with some of the chamber members.
They're sweeping around you. Yeah. I know.
It's great. So again, thank you so much for coming on. You're the best. I appreciate everything you've done for us and continue to do for us. So yeah, cool.
Great.
Thanks, guys. That's a wrap. We'll see you next time.